So we are entering into what I think is one of the most beautiful times of the year, the holiday season. And now, of course, we do have to contend with the customary seasonal complaints about how commercialized it is, how we've forgotten the true meaning of Christmas, how we all spend too much money and feel too rushed during the next 30 days. Oh, and you can't forget the complaining about the cold wind and slush that will come on our sidewalks and our streets. And maybe this is all true. There are all these problems, potential problems of the season. But it's also the season of beautifully decorated trees and houses on dark streets strung with lights. Exquisite performances of the Messiah and the Nutcracker and the age-old carols sung by choirs and folks like us, some of them so gentle and lovely that they bring tears to our eyes. We have the fun gathering of family and friends, of course, after the rush of getting everything ready for them to come over. And we'll inevitably have glistening snow covering the bare limbs and the shrubs. We have brilliant red and orange and yellow, purple, and what I saw this morning, gorgeous sunrise. We have bright red poinsettias. We have night air so crisp that we can almost imagine it cracking as we walk through it. And we have that white winter moon hung in a jet black sky. Take a moment. Just take a moment now to conjure up the memories of the beauty that you have experienced over the years during this season. I'll wait. And as I suggested last week, just hold on to those memories and say thank you, but hold on to those memories, because this is what I want to talk about today: beauty in the universe and its connection to our mind and soul that gives it power in our lives. Now, we seem to be in the midst of a time when there is much pain and tension in the world, and animosity being intentionally stroked between people by foreign countries and the likes of Trump Jr., who told daddy supporters this week that they are to rile up their liberal family members over Thanksgiving dinner by baiting them with alt-right message. Sick man. That was a political editorial, I guess. And even the quickest look at the news or a scan through the piles of appeal letters that we're receiving every day this month tells us that we are surrounded by intense needs of people living in hunger and homelessness and economic deprivation, even in the midst of a society that is richer than any society throughout time. So we might ask, with the reality of all this bad stuff seemingly engulfing the world, where is beauty and what can it do? Well, beauty is everywhere. Beauty is everywhere, and it can do a lot for us. Like the song "Need a Little Christmas" in the musical Mame, that was sung by Mame to counter her nephew's and her staff's anxiety and distress caused by the loss of the family money during the Depression. Beauty can counter anxiety and distress in our current social situation, because beauty of all kinds is all around us. And beauty has great power for us and all of humanity. Beauty, not the superficial standards of commercialized beauty, but deep beauty in the universe, instructs us, awakens us, orients us, calls us, soothes us, excites us, and connects us with transcendence. Now, it's easy to discount the importance of beauty. Things in our lives And the things in our lives, and thus the power of beauty that can be in our lives and affect our minds and our bodies, seem to be so, well, shall we say, ephemeral. That's because in our current work-obsessed world, the concept of beauty seems functionally lightweight. It's not like science or commerce or finances and politics, the really important stuff that society deems essential and it can really have power and control over lives. We usually don't consider this somewhat abstract, hard to describe quality or character that is ascribed to an object as having any great power or real importance. We tend to just think, oh, that's pretty, and then go on our way. Beauty is the quality or the aggregate of qualities in a person or object or place that gives pleasure to the senses or makes the mind feel comfortable. The experience of beauty often involves a feeling an entity or a thing is somehow in just the right balance. Now that said, it is very difficult to define the specific qualities of beauty, to define the qualities of beauty in a piece of art or music or an object in nature. Now we can name the elements of structure, of color, of sound, the things that connect to our senses, but it's almost impossible to say why one thing is beautiful and another thing is common or even ugly. In its own way, beauty is like the often heard phrase of Justice Potter Stewart, who said in reference to another topic, that while I may not be able to define it, I know it when I see it. Whether or not we can define beauty, that which is beautiful really has great power and can directly affect the lives of people. For example, beauty can influence judgment. Researchers have found that good-looking students get higher grades from teachers than students with ordinary appearance. Some studies using criminal trials have shown that physically attractive defendants are less likely to be convicted, or if they are convicted, will probably get a lighter sentence than less attractive people. How much money a person earns may also be influenced by physical beauty. A study found that physically attractive people earn 5 to 10% more than ordinary-looking people. In a survey of 200 corporate hiring managers done a few years ago by Newsweek, 50% of hiring managers, now these were just personnel directors through corporate vice presidents, said that unattractive candidates are likely to have a harder time landing a job. And of course, in the dating and marriage environment, very attractive women and men, in terms of culturally defined beauty, are highly sought after as compared to average-looking men or women. And automobile manufacturers, since the first cars were on the streets, spend a great deal of time and money to make their cars look pretty and advertise their beauty to influence buyers, because they know that they can get more people to buy their cars if the people think their car is beautiful and stylish. Beauty affects, whether we want it or not, beauty affects our judgment about objects. But beauty actually has a more personal and more important power for us when its essence connects to our mind and to our body and to our hearts. Beauty can make us dream, can make us think. It can enable us to imagine a world better than the one we know today, and it can make us see the holy in things and want to bring the holy into ours and others' lives. Simply said, beauty inspires. That's probably why Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Never lose an opportunity to see something beautiful, for beauty is God's handwriting." God, or the universe, is telling us that through the beauty instilled in the universe, whether it's in the arts or nature, can deflect much of the tensions and negativity caused by hate and discord, because beauty can heal the soul. We can use beauty to motivate us to work for justice and equality, by giving us a goal to strive for, to make the world a more pleasant place, both physically and emotionally, for all people. And what is so wonderful about this is that the message of beauty is everywhere, all of the time, available to everyone. All we have to do is open our minds and our hearts and let the elements of beauty touch and in turn inspire us, and to hold on to the thoughts of beauty, not just letting it go by real quickly because we think it's a lightweight issue. Another power of beauty, in whatever forms it takes, is it can break a pattern of self-destructive behavior or forestall abject surrender to tough economic or physical circumstances in which a person may find themselves caught. Just look at the world and you can see all around the world. There are people holding out on the toughest frontiers of existence, surrounded by misery, but yet somehow sustained by moments of beauty. Beauty has the ability to create moments of transcendence, as Viktor Frankl once described. He wrote, "As the inner life of prisoners tended to become more intense, they also experienced the beauty of art and nature as never before. Under their influence, they sometimes forgot even their own frightful circumstances. If someone had seen our faces on the journey from Auschwitz to a Bavarian camp, as we beheld the mountains around Salzburg with their summits glowing in the sunset through our little barred windows of the prison carriage, he would never have believed that those faces were the faces of men who had given up all hope in life and liberty. Despite that factor, or maybe because of it, they were carried away by nature's beauty." And finally, the touch of beauty from a piece of art or in music or the sight of an object or a vista in nature can awaken something in our mind, in our heart, in our beingness that some people call the soul, so that we can experience a sense of transcendence. And many of you have told me of such experiences. When we feel, by seeing something or being in an environment, we feel that this moment is greater than just this moment, and there is more to this greatness than just us. Beauty then has the power to connect us to that which we can call spiritual. These beautiful moments are available to us wherever we want them and whenever we want them. All again we have to do is open our souls to them and let our spirits soar. The universe seems to have made creation in such a way that beauty is part of every fiber. Natural beauty is stunning and can awaken a sense of awe. The drawn line or stroke of paint or worked clay or metal or wood can draw us into deep thought. A composer's notes, played by fine musicians, can mesmerize us. All are gateway to the spiritual connections with existence, if we understand that beauty has power and not just write it off as sort of being the lightweight part of life. Beauty in all of its forms is a gift from the universe. It has the power to affect our judgment, to inspire us, and to give us a lens, and this is what I think is most important, give us a lens through which we can see and experience transcendence. So perhaps in the coming weeks, when you see that beautiful decorated tree, the black sky with the tiny white points, the blazing winter sunset, the bright white moon floating in darkness, the glow of 9 candles in the menorah set in a place of honor on a table or the mantle, consider beauty's deep connection to the soul. Open the spirit to take it in and let it fill you, fill life. So on this Sunday, that's in the Christian liturgical calendar, is known as the first Sunday of Advent, may we start a journey of wonder through this season of joy and beauty. So be it.